Hello friend, welcome back. Recently we have launched SelectorsHub 5.0 which has changed the complete way of using SelectorsHub. So if you are an old user or the new user, then definitely you should follow this tutorial, and please follow the complete tutorial so you learn all the features of SelectorsHub, because you might be missing some of the features just thinking that this is just an XPath plugin to copy. But no, there are so many things, so many innovative features which can save a huge amount of time for you and improve your productivity of you and your team as well. So let's get started. Here, first of all, like, what is SelectorsHub? SelectorsHub is the next gen XPath and CSS selector plugin which gives you all kinds of possible selectors automatically, which generates all possible selectors just in one click, as well as it can be used as a smart editor to write and verify your XPath, CSS selector, playwright selectors, or any kind of selectors, jQuery, JSPath as well. And this is the only plugin which is a kind of like a smart XPath editor, selectors editor, which helps you with the proper error message and gives you the right count of any XPath match, unlike DevTools, because in DevTools you get the string match as well. And in many cases, like in Control F, if you do Control F in DevTools, that's where it doesn't support the shadow DOM and nested iframe, etc. So that all has been supported by SelectorsHub, like iframe, nested iframe, shadow DOM, SVG elements, and all those things. So now how can you install it? So here on, just go to SelectorsHub.com, and here the first link is first product which you will find, SelectorsHub, which is a free version. Here you will find all the products which we offer, SelectorsHub offers. So this is the free version, here is the pro version. So here I'm going to show you guys that how you can make the use of free version and all the features. If you are interested in pro version, you just go here and you can see all the features of pro and compare. So here let's click on install button, and here it will open this page where you can find the definition and steps to use the SelectorsHub. Very simple 3 steps you have to follow. Just add the SelectorsHub in your browser, and here right click and open DevTools, and here you can find all the download links and everything. So just let me just explain everything. Here click on install. So once you will click on install, it will open the Chrome store where you can from where you can add it in your browser. So here you can see everything, like all the details that it is featured and verified, and like under privacy practices you can see whether it is safe, secure, what kind of information is saved or not, and reviews and rating everything, and how many users are currently using. So that all things you can find it here. And in fact you can also see that this runs offline, and here you can see the version number and when it was updated. So let's add it in our browser. Click on add to Chrome, like here you have to click on add to Chrome and then add extension. And here after adding extension you will see that it will open another page which is like another product like recorder plugins. This also you guys can add it in your browser. It will help you to save your time to get screenshot, steps, manual test cases automatically. So lots of things are there. We will talk about that in a separate tutorial. Okay, now we have added SelectorsHub in our browser. After adding SelectorsHub in your browser, you might not find the logo here, SelectorsHub logo here in the toolbar. So how you can get that logo? Click on this default extension logo here and pin it to toolbar. Now SelectorsHub logo, you will be able to find it here. After adding SelectorsHub plugin in your browser, please always use this plugin into the new tab. Don't use in the existing browser tabs which you have already opened. So let us close them. Or to make the best use, it is always recommended that you restart your browser. If you don't want to restart, then open the website into the new tab like this. Okay, so this way you will be able to make the best use of it and you will not find any error. Now where to find SelectorsHub in your browser? So first of all, we have added this. Now earlier you might have seen that you have to click on right click on inspect, open DevTools, left side you find the elements tab, and then here we used to suggest that SelectorsHub tab, you find it here. And in many cases you actually find it as a last tab like this, and most of the time you will not able to find it here like this way. Let me click on inspect again, and here 2 arrows were there and SelectorsHub used to come as last tab, and then you can like drag and drop anywhere. So that's the different thing. So this this is where, and this is how we were using Selector Sub earlier. But now how can we make it the best use of it? Now we are not going to use Selector Sub here in DevTools. If you want to use, you can use it. There it is also supported, but we are not recommending it now to use it in DevTools. Why? Because we can do it in much better way now. We can use it in much better way. You just have to click on this logo and it will open Selector Sub here. Boom. So this is going to be very helpful, that just in a click here on the logo and it will open. You need not to right click on inspect, then here elements tab, then click on these two arrows or here in the tab. No, you need not to do all this thing. Just click on logo and it will open. So this is the new Selector Sub 5.0, that you will be able to open Selector Sub just in one click, and you need not to follow those steps to open DevTools and then there all those things. So this is great thing. So this is how you are going to open Selector Sub here in one click. Now you can also open Selector Sub through keyboard shortcut as well. So how you can do that? Like you can press Command Shift S if you are on Mac. If you are on Windows, then Control Shift S. There could be a chance that it might not open, it might not work, like Command Shift S might not work. So in that case, what you have to do, right click on the logo, click on Manage Extension, and here 3 horizontal lines are there. Click on them, and here you will find keyboard shortcuts, and there you see the Selector Sub logo here. So what you have to do, click on this edit button and again press Command Shift S. And now if you see that, now if you press Command Shift S, it will open. So, and again you press, it will close. So basically there is an issue in actually in Chrome 115 and 114 that this by default doesn't work, the keyboard shortcut. But in 116 onwards, if you will be watching this video when there is a Chrome version 116 or 117, that's where it will be automatically working. But here if it is not working, what you have to do, just come here. Again, I will repeat the step. Right click on the extension, click on Manage Extension. Here 3 horizontal line, click on them, then click on keyboard shortcut, Selector Sub logo, click on Edit, and here press the command keys, like set of keys, whatever you want to set. Like let's say you want to set Command Shift S, then press them. If you want to change it, then click on Edit, then say let's say Command Shift J I want to set. Then in that case you can just change the command. And here you open any website and press Command Shift J, it will open. If you press again same key, it will close. So this is how you can use the Selector Sub through one click as well as keyboard shortcut. Now let's see what all features are there in Selector Sub which can save a lot of time for you. So another great thing about before that, another great thing about this side panel is this, that now you need not to open this side panel or Selector Sub again and again. You see that we are switching from this tab to this tab to this tab, and that Selector Sub is always open right on the right side, and you are able to access the complete website here on the left side. While if we were using in DevTools like this, here we have to open it again and again on each and every tab. Like you see that we are not able to access that in these tabs which are like different. Again, every time in each and every tab we will have to, like if I have to write XPath or something on this here, then again I have to open, right? This is a pane. So this pane has gone now. You just click here and you will be able to use this anywhere, wherever you want. You just like start inspecting this, and this way you will be able to use. Now here you see that okay, let me just close all these tabs and open, let's say, Selector Sub XPath practice page. So here you will see that this tab is open. Now how can you inspect and generate, because here DevTools is not open. So how you can like inspect any element and generate XPath, or inspect any element to see their HTML DOM and to write your own XPath, right? So in that case, now you have the Selector Sub own inspector here. So just click on this like you used to do in DevTools, and here you can inspect any element, any kind of element. In fact, it is more powerful than the DevTools inspector. You see that if you hover on any element, and if that element will be having any specific property that it will highlight, like this is SVG element, it is telling you. You need not to even click on that element. This is inside Shadow DOM, it is telling you. If any element is inside close Shadow DOM or iframe, that all it will tell you. So this is really good. So here you can inspect any element. Just click on this and you see that here it is like we have inspected this element, it is highlighted. This is the DOM node HTML of that particular element, and here is the like selectors for this particular inspected element. And if you want to write, let's say you want to write selectors or XPath for this particular element, you can start typing here /input, and you see that it is suggesting the value like in a smart editor. And here you, as soon as you start typing, everything you will get here, and you can select and write your own XPath. If you want to write CSS selector, you start typing, and here you can write those CSS selectors as well. So this is really amazing and very cool features that you can write and verify your own XPath and CSS selector here. You can also just inspect the element, and you would be able to auto generate the all possible kind of selectors here. So very good in that perspective. It has all the features which were there in DevTools, SelectorsHub in DevTools panel, so that you can use them here. I will explain all the features here again. Okay, so this is how you write the XPath CSS selector here. This is how you automatically generate XPath and CSS selector, and you can see the DOM node here. And if you want to write, you can write it here. Okay, so now I have explained auto generation as well as editor, like how you can write your own XPath and CSS selector, and how you can inspect any element here. Now, what all other features are there here in SelectorsHub which can save a good amount of time and make your task easy? So let's say we inspect this element, and we have written some XPath here. Our own XPath we have written like this one, and now you want to save this value. So how you can save this value in SelectorsHub? There is a plus button here. If you want to save this value to write before starting your writing new value, because you don't want to copy paste somewhere to save this value, you want to save this value right here in SelectorsHub. So just click on this, and the value is saved here. And now you will see that if you click on this XPath and CSS selector, you can see your value. So whenever you want to add, like let's say now you have deleted, here you are writing, let's say you want to write CSS selector this time. We have written CSS selector. Now you want to save this value, click on this plus button. This value is saved here. You click on this, and let's say you want to edit the previous value, click on this, and it will copy paste automatically here. And you can write and verify or whatever you want to do. So this is how you can save the value here. Then if any, like let me just explain all of them one by one, all these features which are there, so that will be helpful for you from top. This is the upgrade button, like if you want to go more, you want to access more advanced feature and all, that we will explain later. This is the this button is to make your XPath or CSS selector case insensitive. Like you see that here I is capital in user ID. If you want to change this I to, if you want to, like let's say you want to make it case insensitive, you made I small, in that case it will not work. But if you want to use that, in that case you just click on this button, and it will make your XPath case insensitive and CSS selector. Hit enter, and you see that it is working with that small I. So this button is basically to convert your XPath and auto generate XPath and CSS selector case insensitive. Then access XPath. So suppose you want to generate the access based XPath, like relative to other element. In that case, that can also be generated automatically. Just click on this button here, and you see it is asking you to inspect parent first. So let us inspect. Let's say we want to generate XPath for courses with respect to products. So first we will inspect products, then it is asking to inspect child, then you inspect child here, courses, and you see that it has generated XPath for courses with respect to products. Simply copy this and use it in your code. So this is how you can automatically generate the access based XPath. Let me explain again. Suppose you want to generate XPath for enter email with respect to this user email. label. In that case, first inspect this user email label, then again select this inspector and click on this enter email, and this is how you can generate. This is the XPath for enter email field with respect to user email, and this is the last value which we have generated. So you don't basically lose the last value if by any chance you click somewhere here and there. And you can always find it like more detailed tutorial, just any specific feature, they all will be having a tutorial with them. So if you like, let's say you want to see in more detail this feature, then you can watch this tutorial. And each and every feature has its own tutorial here in our SelectorsHub YouTube channel, so you can watch them. So this is how you can generate the XPath relative to other element. If you find this screen like small and you want to have a better view, you can just expand this as well, so that like you will have a even better view. Okay, now let's come back, and to come back to home screen you just click again on this button, so you will be here. Now what is this attribute feature? Attribute feature is, just click on this. It is basically to generate the XPath and CSS selector with respect to any particular attribute. Like let's say it is generating with ID and you don't want with ID. In that case you just uncheck this and it will generate with other attribute. Let's say you don't want with a placeholder, or you want with any specific attribute. So in that case you can enter that attribute name here and you would be able to generate. Like let's say we want to generate with title, so you just enter title here and hit enter. It will generate XPath with that particular attribute. So this is how you can generate XPath with any particular attribute what you want. Okay, then what is this code? And all these settings will be keep saved in your SelectorsHub tab. Like let's say we have saved this setting, we want to always generate with title, we don't want with ID. So in that case, if you close SelectorsHub here, and next time if you will open, you will find your setting here saved. So this is just like one time setting. Any setting you will do, that will be saved in SelectorsHub. Cool. Now let's inspect any element here. Let's say this enter email. Now suppose you want to use this XPath or CSS selector or any value here in your code. In that case, you copy this value and you are using in your code. But most of the time we used to add some commands surrounding them, right? Like we don't use that particular, like we just don't use XPath. We always write something like driver.findElement or private by some value and then by.xpath or something we always use, right? So can we get this complete command in place of just getting XPath? Yes, we can. So what you do here, let me just close this attribute thing. What you have to do, click on this code and you see that the command is set here and it is automatically implemented on this. Now to copy this value, you can click on this copy button or anywhere till header here. So just value is copied and you can directly paste in your code here. You see that without like you need not to type this thing, you get complete value. So this way you can get the complete value. Also if you are not using this driver.findElement by.xpath, if you are using some other framework or other format, you can edit this value, as well as if you click on this drop box, it will show some of the predefined values here. Let's say you are using add find by or Selenium with Python, like driver.findElement, driver.find_element, something like this, or page Cypress or Playwright, anything that you can select, and it will automatically generate that kind of command. Like let's say you are using this page object model. In that case, you use this and hit enter, it will generate in that format. So that all you will get. So this is how you can generate XPath and selectors with code. If you doesn't want to generate, just again click on this, and if you will inspect any element, it will generate without that particular code. Cool. Now you can also generate XPath and selectors for multiple elements, as well as you can generate the complete locator page like this, what you have seen here. So let's say you want to generate this complete locator page, or you want to generate like this complete piece of code, that you can do. Here you see that POM page, click on this, and here you can start inspecting all the elements for which you want to generate XPath and selectors. So select this, click on this element, click on this element. Let's say we want for this as well, we want basically for all the headers. So you just keep inspecting all the elements for which you want to generate the XPath and selectors, and you see that all the XPath has been generated for all the elements. Now you simply click on copy button and you can paste it in your code. And if you doesn't want to generate just XPath and selectors, you want the complete code, in that case click on this code and you see that the complete code has been generated automatically. Click on copy button and come here, and if you paste the code here, you will see that it has generated this locator page. And if this command is not same, you can always change this command from here. Like let's say this driver.find element and hit enter, you will be able to change that code. You see that now it has generated in this format. You can also edit this command, like if anything you are using, like suppose this command is something like ABC, like this, some random command, just replace the XPath with XPath value keyword in your command and then hit enter, it will generate with that. Like here you can also find the instruction. If you click on this is a tutorial, it will show you the detailed tutorial about this feature. So this is how you can generate the locator page. Okay, let's again click on this same element, same button here, so it will take you to the home page. Click on this, it is here. You can start inspecting it, keep generating. Then we have the feature XPath Healing. XPath Healing is something like, let's say your complete front end got changed and all these selectors are breaking now, these XPath and everything is breaking. So in that case, how you can verify all the XPath and CSS selector in one go? You can verify using XPath Healing feature of SelectorsHub. What you have to do, just copy complete code here, come back, click on this XPath Healing. So if you see that this is, if you expand more, you will find this is XPath Healing, kind of like a smart maintenance. Click on this here, click on edit button and paste your complete code here and set the command what you are using in your code. So we are using this driver.find element command, right? So we'll copy this, and it is just one time task, you need not to set again and again. Delete this and type XPath value here, submit, and you see it has fetched all the XPath and showing the matching node. Now here you must be thinking that it is showing 1111, but if any XPath got changed, like let me change some of the XPath here randomly and now paste this complete code and paste this, you will see that it will show them which has changed 00. So now what we can do, simply click on edit button to fix this XPath and use it in our code. So this is how you can verify all your XPath and see like all your XPath in one go. If you want to use Selectors Healing, where it will verify all your XPath, CSS selector, ID and every kind of selector, then you can upgrade to Pro version, and there you have the Selectors Healing feature. So even there you can verify much more better way and save more time. Okay, cool. Then we have here Debugger feature. Debugger feature is very helpful in the case of like let's say you have some website like flipkart.com where the dynamic element which immediately disappear. So there debugger feature comes as a lifesaver and very helpful. So to use the debugger feature in side panel, if you like, you will have to open DevTools here like this. You need not to open SelectorsHub here, just keep it open DevTools. So that's a one limitation for the using the debugger feature in side panel. So keep it open, and now let's say we click on this debugger button, click on this and make that particular element visible within 5 seconds for which you want to inspect. Now you see that this drop down is holded by SelectorsHub. Now you can just click and inspect any element or whatever action you want to perform, you can perform on them. So this is how you can use the debugger feature. Though we recommend to you for you all to use the debugger feature in SelectorsHub DevTools panel if you want. So that way it will be better. Okay, then code. Here suppose you want to use XPath, like you want to generate XPath or CSS selector with double quote, because some of the frameworks are there which supports double quote. So in that case you just click on this, and here you see that it generated XPath and CSS selector with double quotes. Now if you inspect any element, it will generate XPath and CSS selector with double quote. You can also customize the UI, like if any of the button or some of the selectors you doesn't want to see, then in that case click on this customize UI, and here you would be able to customize. Like let's say you don't want to like see this access case insensitive button, you can hide this. If you don't want to see like if you don't want the auto generated selector, you can click on this. Now if you go back, you will not see the auto generated selector. So all those things you can do from here. Like if anything you doesn't want, like any of the selectors which are not useful for you, you can uncheck and they will not be showing. Like let's say you don't want to see relative CSS selector, uncheck this go back, and then if you see that you are not able to see that relative CSS selector here. So all these settings you can do from here. At any point of time you forget that which all settings you have done, you can just reset all of them. Just click on this and all the settings will be reset and it will come to its default state. So these are the amazing features of SelectorsHub which can save a good amount of time. Apart from this, in the panel we have also added 2 more new selectors in context menu. So you know that if you right click on any element, you find SelectorsHub here and you can copy the XPath CSS selector from the context menu. Here we have added ID and name as well. So if any element will be having ID and name attribute in them, in that case you can copy those value from here itself. You need not to like waste a lot of time like getting using XPath and CSS selector. Like it is always recommended to use ID or name if that is available. So if you right click copy, if ID will be available, it will give you the ID. Like this element was having ID, so it has given you ID. If any element will not be having ID or name, in that case if you copy and paste here, let me paste it, it will let you know that ID attribute is not available for this element. So you will be knowing that okay, this is not available. So this is how you can make the best use of SelectorsHub 5.0, and we highly recommend to use it in side panel, so that way you can save a lot more time. You need not to open DevTools again and again, and you will save a good amount of time. Here we are showing these like you will find these kind of ads here. So they are actually very helpful for you guys. It's a very good information for testers, that if any conferences is coming, any meetup is coming, any new product is coming, that information we are showing here. So we always recommend that you click on this and see what's there for QA. Like this TestMu conference is happening by going to happen on 22nd 24th of August by Lambda Test. Is absolutely free, largest virtual conference for testers, absolutely free, and you can win amazing prizes. So do participate and register for this, and you will always find the good information here which will be very helpful. You can also learn about test trigger locators here. What are these test trigger path here we are showing, so that also will help you. So you can just click here and learn more about it, and you can find the version information here, always latest tutorial here. If you click on help here, you will, if you need any kind of help from us or want to raise any issue, you can just click on this and you can get the support. Also, if you need any kind of support, you can always find the live chat on SelectorsHub website. So there you can connect. You can, under resources, you can find contact us details. So there also you can connect with us, and here live chat support is there. So any problem you face, we are always here to help you. And if you really want to save more time, then we highly recommend you to upgrade to pro version, or if you are using it inside a company, please upgrade to pro version and you will save a very good amount of time. And here you see that amazing features are there in pro. Like you can go ad free, you get the premium new UI, everything what's there in free version that you get here. Like let me just click on this pro version here, and you see that this inspector doesn't get disabled to like if you want as many elements you can inspect here in the context menu. Before copying the value, you can see what is there. Like here you see that you can see right here ID is not available, so those value you can see right here in the context menu. You need not to wait to copy and then paste there. Then here, like let's say you are generating access based XPath, you can just select this once and just click in one go you can do, while in free version you have to select that inspector twice. So here this inspector is always active, so that is another great feature in pro version. You don't see any kind of ad, any interruption. A lot more things are there. Like in attribute filter, you have this without attribute if you want to generate selectors and all. And more commands under code, you will find page object model. Here you have the selectors healing, where you want to verify all kinds of XPath and selectors in one go. So that is there. So amazing features are there in pro version. Here you can like if any XPath is dynamic, like you see that this XPath CSS selector is kind of dynamic, you can check the stability. Just click on this and it will let you know whether this is a stable XPath or like unstable XPath. That all things it used to tell. It also helps you to like write and verify your any kind of selectors. It has a smart search as well. So all those features, if you want to learn more in details, then just go here and click on SelectorsHub Pro. You will find all the details, and you can check out the tutorial how you can get started. Currently there is a special offer is running, so you can also take that lifetime plan. It is hardly a meal cost, so almost free, and very helpful for us. It will be very helpful for us as well to run these free products. So we highly recommend every SelectorsHub user, please upgrade to pro version. Take a lifetime plan. Only once you have to make the payment, and you will be able to use amazing features of SelectorsHub. And one more very good features of SelectorsHub I would like to highlight, that if you inspect any element and writing XPath and CSS selector here, so here you know that if you click on this value, it will copy and paste the value here. You need not to copy paste manually, so you can just click on this, is a kind of like edit here. Click on this, it will copy paste here, and you can verify your XPath. If you make any mistake in your XPath, it will highlight that what's wrong in your XPath. So that also you can fix, like invalid XPath, close square bracket is missing. So that kind of information also you get here in SelectorsHub. So this is very helpful, and a lot more information it used to show you, like if any element is inside iframe, shadow DOM, everything it used to support. Let me just show you that quickly. So inspect this element, it is telling you that this is SVG element, so something is special there, so you can take care of that. If any element is inside shadow DOM, it will also tell you that this is inside shadow DOM. It gives you the complete script. You can directly copy paste this script in your code and use. And here you see that it tells you that this is like CSS selector is supported, only XPath cannot be used. Like if you write XPath here by any chance, then it will highlight and tell you that XPath doesn't support shadow DOM. Like if you expand this, you can read the complete message. If any element is inside iframe, that also it will tell you. So each and everything it gives you, and all kinds of information. Like here are some of the iframe example, let me show you. So if any element is inside iframe, inside shadow DOM, all things will be taken care by SelectorsHub. Any table is there, any SVG element, all sorts of things are there. And this is very helpful page, like this is XPath practice page. So if you want to practice anything, that you can do it here. Like here, these are all elements are inside iframe, so you just inspect and it will tell you. And in fact, just by hover on them, it will tell you that this is inside, this element is inside iframe. So you see that if it is inside 2 iframe, it is telling you this is inside 2 nested iframes, so that you can see it here. If it is in, if it will be inside multiple iframe, that also, like 3 iframes are there, this is iframe XPath 1 and all those things. So all complete information you get, you need not to waste at all your time. So this is another great feature, that it supports all kinds of elements and highlight and gives all the information. If anything will not be possible, like what you can do, what you cannot do, that all things it tells you. It will highlight that this is inside SVG and what all, everything it tells you. Okay, so I hope like this tutorial you find it useful, and it will save a good amount of time for you. And I'm sure like you guys will love this new thing of SelectorsHub, opening of SelectorsHub, how you can open this way. And please do share and let everyone know about this new innovation of SelectorsHub, the way it opens now and the way it has changed the like use of any kind of XPath plugin. This is the very first XPath plugin, Selectors plugin, which opens as a side panel, and I'm sure like it will help you guys a lot. With that, thank you so much.